Hello everyone. Can you listen to me?
Hello, sir. Yes, you are audible.
Audible, right? So a small request, just make yourself mute, okay? Whenever you want to speak, you can just unmute yourself or you can just drop a message. So let's start with, because since we have only limited to 40 minutes, so let's get started. And give me 1 second. Okay. So there are people who are still joining. First of all, thank you for arranging this call, and I hope that everyone is safe and stay at home only. Uh, let's talk about the rest today. There are so many things we're gonna talk today, and if you have any question, feel free to ask. Just drop a message as well, and if you want to ask anything, then just unmute yourself and you can ask. So, hello, I'm Mehul Patel. I'm very happy to welcome you for this session, which is on the Rust programming language. So, basically, what is Rust all about? Well, the Rust is a modern system programming language. Just Rust is a modern system programming language, which is actually made by the Mozilla Corporation. That's the company who's actually created the Firefox web browser. Now, Rust is actually a native code language, so it's compiles the native code as a result and to the web browser, like such as the language called C++ and the other language which also compiles native code as opposed to the compiling to the virtual machine and all. Well, if you talk about Rust specifically, so it's particularly focus on the strength of for the memory safety and the correctness of the programs. As result, we are going to language and the features and which and that's the main purpose we are using system programming language, right? All right. So think about it, like what exactly we are taking a look over here. So first of all, we are going to take a look like what how to install the Rust. What are the other way we can manage the complete application within the Rust? How we can create the package, and we are going to have a typically the Hello Rust program. So where we get more about like what are the functions, how it actually works with the Cargo. Cargo is a Rust package manager which we are going to see. But before that, I since we have a limited to 40 minutes, I don't think that we can cover complete the topic over here, since Rust is very very vast. So I already request organizer to have a schedule for the next webinar as well, where we'll keep the session into 2 or 3 parts, where in the first part we'll go about what exactly Rust, where it's come from, and why people really taking care about it, and why developers loving so much this language. This so that's we're going to look at today. And in the next session we are going to more about what are the functions and what are the other things that people look at while they are using Rust. So and we are going to use some IDE as well, which is not officially supported actually, but it's actually hard to manage and when you try to code. So you can use some of the IDE called Visual Studio, Sublime, and all this stuff. So let's jump into the session, like what Rust is all about. Let me see, just everyone is joined. Okay, there's people still coming in. Okay, guys, if you have any question, you can feel free to drop a message in the chat window or feel free to ask. Yeah. So let me share a little bit of myself. Like, my name is Noel Patel. I'm basically a passionate. I'm really passionate about the open source and things I really like to do. I'm an active member of Mozilla community, which is a program actually run by the group of highly trained and passionate people like me and you. And they what they do actually, they share the technical knowledge in the various regional facing developer events about the Firefox, Mozilla, web technology, web literacy, anything about the open source, which makes you happy to work on. Currently, I am a Rust mobilizer in the community and trying my best to aware people about this awesome programming language. I'm also part of the other groups called WordPress, Linux, Debian, OpenStack, Auth0, Google. So I'm also my main working area is on the cloud. So, and I'm a DevOps engineer, by the way. Also, I'm a reps mentor in the Mozilla, where I'm actually mentoring the people who joining the reps program. and help them to grow the community and how they can be a leader in their community. So these are the things which I'm doing here. And mostly mostly there are a lot of stuff that actually I do, but let's not get into that. Instead of that, let's go further details. Yeah, if you have any question, feel free to ask me here right now, or you can just simply ping me on Twitter, Telegram. So just to let you know, like I'm actually associated with Mozilla from last 4 years, and it has been a great experience to working with the people, staff, volunteers, and it's a great thing when you officially represent the community, right? So yeah, let's me jump. So in this, so why hello, yes, okay. All right. So I think everyone know about the Mozilla actually, but I'm going to kick off this by giving a short introduction about the Mozilla. So Mozilla basically our organization which tries to make the web a very very beautiful web, which believes that internet should be equal and accessible for everyone. Okay, and Mozilla also advocates for the internet user and really cares about having the open and healthy web internet. Some of them probably knows the Mozilla from its product like Firefox, but actually Mozilla is more than that. Mozilla has a various project like Firefox, Rust, which are basically enables to organize Rust more bigger actually. So yeah, so that's what about the Mozilla. So let's hack into the Rust programming language. What exactly we are going to look in this section? We deep dive into Rust programming language, design the concept of the secret, the create of the safe and fast application. I just try to make it fancy as possible and try to explain the concept of ownership and borrowing that empowers the Rust language, and it's guarantee the thread safety among like other programming language. If we do not get enough time, don't worry, as I told you already that we going to have a next webinar as well to discuss about further. Yeah, okay, just 1 second. Okay, so what is Rust actually? So let's start with the most fundamental question that comes in actually in my mind, which I like to define the Rust programming language that comes with the C performance and is super productive like Python and Superset. So as you can see in this diagram, okay, so if you can see on the diagram basis how actually this balance it, the situation, where in the other end C and C++ which gives you more control and less safety. On the other hand, Python which have a less control but it gives you more safety, right? So this is the what exactly these are the combination of where we actually create our super fast and safe application with help. Wait, but you might be wondering like what is system, like what I actually mean about system programming language. So a quick question for everyone. Anyone would like to define what is system programming language? Just unmute yourself and just tell me. What do you think about like what is system programming language? Anyone? Okay, so I believe like okay, no issue. Let me explain you. Okay, so basically these are the categories of the language which has a low level control where you have a complete control and access to the memory, where more or less you are playing with the bare metal. Like the most common example is C and C++, I would say. What I mean by the productivity is the feature we love the language like Python, right? JS, where we can get a part of, just 1 second. Okay, there is one question. Okay. Okay, I'll answer later on. So what I mean by the productivity is, so it basically this kind of feature actually we love in the Python and JS, where we get high level iterators, pattern matching statements, package management, etc. Tool that actually gives the more safety. This is what makes Rust stand out and makes a state of the programming language. Rust makes system programming language feel safe by providing the guarantee like no segment fault, no data erasures, and a lot of protection in the memory aspect. We'll talk more about in these topics, but in the later section for sure. I would highly recommend to check out some of the videos which I'm going to share the later after this session. So you just look at that video and we will get to more aware of about like why things are the working on the back end and why people are really going forward regarding this programming language. So this is the this is the one of the tagline I really like a lot, like system programming without fear. By the way, why really we do this care about? Yes, of course, because Mozilla is one of the sponsor of this project. I think it is the sponsor of this project. So let's talk about the as everyone know about this browser anyways. So like what is the relation between Rust and Firefox? So as we all know, right, the browser needs safety and control, and lot of tool like word processing tool, designing tool, etc., which were earlier available only on standalone software, and now working flawlessly on the web browsers. Like you can see, for example, uh, earlier days we used to have a YouTube streaming with and live streaming with the standalone software, but right now we have such kind of a tools which work flawlessly on the browser. So which means there right now there is era where we can also run the application with the browser itself. And and obviously when you come to the browser, like you can use any browser, the most important part is it gives you the better performance, and that is the main aim of the Mozilla to invest more into this domain. And that's the reason they are investing more into the Firefox. So that was the mission that the first time when Rust has been integrated, it was a Firefox 48 version. So when they tied it up. So where are we with Rust right now? So here. Sorry, my keyboard was stuck. So yes, so basically let me talk about like why as we see, like first time Rust was integrated with the Firefox on the 48 version. So why, like what exactly Rust is doing with the Firefox, and what exactly these two symbols are actually. So basically in the left hand side, the symbol that is saying that is a servo. There's one of the project in the Mozilla one of the browser engine that works and makes the Firefox more faster. The Servo Research project, which which is actually modern high performance browser engine, is completely written in the Rust, and which is actually focused on the parallelism, security, modularity, and the performance. Most of the learnings from this project is being embedded into Firefox Gecko. If you heard about the Firefox Gecko, so that was previously we were using that through the Quantum project. So there was one of the project called Quantum. You might be heard about the Firefox Quantum project, where they bet that this is the fastest browser so far, and that actually proven when the Firefox Quantum projects were succeeded, and they released their first Quantum version. And so if you're interested more about to helping and building this project as well, so you can just check out the GitHub repository. I'll share all the links, and what about the Quantum project, about the servo and everything. So what I'm going to do is later on after this session, I'm going to put everything and all the code samples to the GitHub directory, where we have some samples as well, so you can just go and check out those samples and just try those codes out, because I don't know, like we can get enough time to work over here. Anyone have any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay. Am I audible, right?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, audible.
So that was the Firefox nightly version, which we are using for the testing. And as we can see, 2019 actually, this is not a surprise, but this is the fifth time in the row that Rust actually, being selected as the most lovable programming language by the developers on the Stack Overflow. You can check the Stack Overflow survey for 2019 survey, where you can see that. And this is continuously fifth time. Like I still remember when the first stable version was released on 2015, and from the 2015 till 2019, it's 5 years. So that's the really amazing thing. And there are a couple of things which actually make you, fall in love with this amazing programming language. So these are the some of the friends of the Rust, which are the people who are using Rust in their production. Basically, these are the very very a very very famous platform. We Dropbox, npm is the basically node package manager, and Coursera. There are so many other organization as well which are using the Rust in their production, which actually adopt this programming language. If you want to know more about this, what are the organization that are using, you can simply jump on this link and you will get all the details. So the common definition when you Google it, so you will get this definition like Rust is system programming language that runs pleasantly fast, prevent the set faults, and guaranteeing the thread safety. Okay, but why should I use Rust? So I have my own definition for it, which I made it when I like 2 years back when I started to just deep dive into it, like because I really admire the Rust a lot, and I got a chance to work with that community team as well. So in my term, I would say Rust is a good choice when you would choose C++. You can also say Rust is a system programming language that pursuing trifect. Means that's the three main features like safe, concurrent, and it's for fast. I would say Rust is a ownership oriented programming language. You might heard the Rust as a uh, you might have Rust as a system programming language, object oriented programming language. So many, but this is actually ownership oriented programming language. We'll see like why we can call this as ownership programming language. So let's talk about the install. If you can also install the Rust with me if you want it. But let me give you the some basics of it, like what are the platforms that you can explore actually. So let's talk about the installing the Rust. Keep in mind that that isn't strictly speaking necessary, because what you can do is this: you can also use the Rust playground. Like let me show you. Uh, Guys, can you see my other screen? Just 1 second. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yes, okay. So I was talking about, so basically if you don't have the Rust, so there is one more tool that's called Rust Playground. You can simply use this one, okay, to run your program in your browser as well. So basically there are so many dependencies. For example, let's go into the Rust language. Rust. Okay, if I go here, so this is actually this one is the recently redesigned by the Rust team. So the current stable version is Rust version 1.4.2. If you click on this, you'll get to know about the more details about like what are the previous versions and what are the new major updates which probably is there. If you want to install the Rust, right? So basically, I'm not sure like you can install on the Windows, Ubuntu, and the OS Access model as well. So I'm not really not sure about the Windows because I never tried for the Windows. Okay, so basically how to install using the CMD. So here is the command. Basically you can use it. All you need to just copy this command. Okay, and you can use this command over your Ubuntu system and your OS X system. So just a one single command and that will install the Rust on your system. That's it. Also we are going to take a look about the Cargo, which is Rust package management, which built in the Rust. And we are also going to discuss about the what are the supports for the Rust in the integrated development environment, what are the IDE you can use. Okay, and so these are the other platform as well. So basically if you let me just show you. Can you see my terminal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So let's see what are the current version we have right now. Okay, so I have the latest version. So yes. Okay, there is one more URL. I'm not sure if you are aware of it, but there is one more URL called rustop.rs. Yeah, so basically what the unique thing about this one is it will automatically fetch your which system you are using. For example, in this time, it automatically recognize that I'm using the Mac Unix system. And so according to that, for example, if you run this URL on the Windows system, it will give you the package installer for the Windows system. So best would be, I would recommend you to go to this URL instead of the just jump onto the official website and just go. This is a project by the Rust team already. So, but this is the very quick way to just get your stuff ready. So go to rustup.rs. Let me just copy this link and paste in the chat window as well. So that will goes to everyone. Okay. So this is the link. You can just go there, copy the link, and don't worry about it. That link will automatically recognize your what the base OS system you are using, and according to that, it will give you the appropriate package installer to just go and install the Rust. And this will actually install the Rust and Cargo both. So what is actually Cargo? Let me just go. Let drag you there. As you can see, Cargo is a Rust package manager. So basically here you can manage your application. How to do that, I'll show you in the next slide for sure. Okay. So here we can see like, how to install the Rust. All you just need to do is just, okay. Actually, I send the link to everyone and that will also send the link to you privately as well. Basically, I have choose that option. Let me just change this setting. That was actually, okay. Perfect. So as first we are seeing what is the Are you guys installing the Rust with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so have you guys done with installation?
No,
Okay,
not yet.
so okay, do that. This is just this. If you're using, just go to that URL and that will drag you to the appropriate package installer. Just need to copy this link and just paste it. I think it will take hardly 30 seconds to install it. Meanwhile, if anyone have any questions, so they can ask. Let's say, let's take the 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Everyone can install it. If anyone has question, they can ask. They can unmute yourself and they can ask.
Error is coming on CMD.
So are you using Windows?
Yes.
Okay. To be very honest, I'm really not sure because almost like it's been 15 years. I
No.
never used.
Error is coming that on that last SH part.
Oh.
SH is not recognized as an internal or external command.
So that's what I said. That command only work on the Unix system or Linux system. So you need to, yeah, for the Windows, as I said, you can, you need to jump to the other URL. Wait. I never done for Windows. So as you can see here, did you see that? Let me just send that link to everyone. Here you can see the all the installation packages are there even for the Windows as well. Sir, can we install for VirtualBox? Yes, you can install, but again depend what in the VirtualBox what system you have, what operating system you are running. If you are using Linux or OS X, it's just a single command to go ahead. So yes, just a single command, this one. If for Ubuntu, you can use this one. Okay. And for the Windows, you can use this one depending of your system type, like it is x86 or 64-bit or 32-bit. So it will be a package installer. Sorry, I'm really not much aware about, like I've never done for Windows at all because I'm not using that. So let's go further because we have only limited time. Okay. So let's.
I installed, sir. I installed it on the Windows using the setup.
Okay, perfect. So let's jump into the let's see the HelloRest program because we have only limited time because this Zoom allows only for 40 minutes and I think we'll be over in next couple of minutes only. So let's see. So so to check your current version, you can simply just run this command and you can see the version of your Rust. If you want to go about the cargo, same for the cargo, you can just check about the version. The best thing about if you see that your Rust version is not updated, so you can just run this command rust up. So it will nothing but update your Rust command, rust up and space update. So let me do that. So it says like I already have the stable version of 1.2. So if you see that you are running the old version, all you need to run the rust up space update, or you can see there are a lot of other commands as well that will help you if you want to need about more information. Okay. So let's grab our first Hello Rust program. So let's give the program name called Hello. So basically here the fn stand for function actually, and the main function which execute this program. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to print the hello world. Let's say it's hello Rust. Hello Rust. And this. So what I need to do is need to compile the Rust program with hello, and that will gives us the executable code, which, so as you can see, we have got our executable file which gives the output. Let's see. Okay, so we got the hello Rust. But what about if we have a, let's say we have a almost 4 to 5 Rust files. Let's say you are building an application. Then what are you going to do at that time? You need to compile all the program every time. So that's not the good habit, I would say. So instead of that, we have a cargo. So what we need to do is we need to, like we used to do in the Android when you build the application, we have the couple of file, we have a couple of hierarchy system where in the one click run it will execute the main file, and then we get the entire code. So let's see, like let me give you the manual way. So first let me create one directory called mkdir src. Let me go to the src folder ls. So what I'm going to do here now, let me move this hello program to the src folder. Okay, hello.rs to src, and let me give this file name as a main.rs. So why I've given this, because I'm going to create some hierarchy system where I'm going to run only the main file, which we used to see on other application as well, right? So what I'm going to do now I'm going to create a cargo file. Okay, cargo. Basically this is the toml file which actually have our complete details about tracking of our package. So I'm going to put the package name. So basically it consists of the package name, then name of your application, version, the author. I would say author again, I give it my name, and give this one. Okay, no issue. So if I say this one, so now I have my cargo file ready. Let's see, like how this program is going to be run. So now I'm going to use the cargo command. I'm going to build this package. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, got it. Because I think my cargo version is old. So as you can see, it has compiled my Hello Rust program, which is under the Hello Rust, and is finished the debugging. But let's see, what are the files actually created. As you can see, there is one file created called target, right? So let's see into the target folder. Okay, there is one more folder. So here I can see that my program is there. Let's see, hello. All you need to do is like this, but it's very hard to go there and then run this program. Instead of that, what I'm going to do, I came to my parent directory, and I'm just simply going to run this cargo and run. So that will nothing but it will fetch my application and it will run the program directly from the target folder, right? Let's say even if I remove this one, for example, if I remove this file, still if I again run this one, it's again going to compile the file and again going to executable file and give the output. But it's not a good habit, like every time I used to create all the folder. Instead of this, what you can do, you can simply create a package by using the cargo command. Cargo space new, the program name called hello underscore, the project name called Rust, and hyphen bin. Why bin? Because we wanted the output in the binary. We do not want to create the library. So that's why. So let's do this. So as you can see, created the binary application. So my application package is ready. So if I say, if you want to see, so you can see that hello Rust directory is ready. And if I just go into the directory, so as I can see, my src folder is already ready, my cargo file is ready, and if I go into the rc file, you can see that my main file is also ready. So let me go to the main file, main.rs. Okay, so let's customize this file and let's say hello Rust. Okay, so where I am right now, okay, let me go to my parent directory again, ls, yes. So what I'm going to do is cargo and run. See, it's run my application. So this is how you can build your application as well. Anyone have any question? So basically Rust, if you want to do a single file, then you can use the Rust C. But if you want to create an entire application, then you can simply use the cargo. So there where you can, simply uh, define all your packages and what are the library you want to fetch in a toml file. And you can just run your main file that will execute the main program. Like we used to do in the Java and C++, right? Even the Python as well. Anyone have any question so far? Okay. I'm not sure when this Zoom is going to stop, but let me jump onto the another one. Okay, this one. So as we already told you, like how to install the Rust, how you can check the version. For the Windows, you can just to go to this URL windows up.rs. Is it still work? Let me just check. For the Windows, I hope everyone is sorted. So as you can see, this is the link for the Windows as well. People who are want to install for the, you just go to this link. Okay. So here is the command where you can update your current system. What if you're using the nightly version of Rust as well? So you can just simply change it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to share the presentation along with the code sample as well, which I already created for you guys. So let's look into the reason why I look into the Rust. So Rust is a new enough that you can write useful stuff and that would have already exited to your programming language. It gives you relatively familiar tool as a modern C++ developer, but in a much more consistent and reliable ways. It is a low level enough that you can take the account for more resources. It's more like C++ and Go, and less like Node and Ruby. Cargo is awesome managing the crates, just work as intended, which makes a whole system you may in other language just vanish and satisfying proof. So basically, that's what about the cargo, which manage your application and which help you to create the crates. Crates is nothing but where you can host your, packages. Crates.io. You can simply go to that link and you can check it out. Why should one consider to using Rust? because state of the, so these are the couple of things, state of the programming language. So solves the most commonly system programming bugs. Cargo, as we see in the Rust package manager, improving your toolkit, self-learning, and obviously it's a fun. So far, you can use actually any idea. You can use the Sublime, which I'm actually mostly using. Sublime actually support Rust. Let me just check it. Yes, so actually support Rust, as you can see. And you can use the Visual Studio, which I have right now. And all you need to do is just install the extension Rust, and you can install the Rust, and that will be very easy go. So you can use nowadays. So basically, there is no inbuilt, IDE that actually supports this, but there are add-ons are available which you can just install the add-on, and you can use it with most of the IDE, like Visual Studio. You can use it. You can use it with the Sublime editor, and there are much more. Yeah, it's an add-on. Yeah, it's an add-on, Pradyuman. As I show you, you can use with the both Sublime. We have the Rust over there, as you can see in the right hand side. All the languages are supported, and you can use it with the this one as well. All you need to, as I told you, just you need to enable the extension for that. Like it's a general term. Like if it doesn't support, then people generally used to made a add-on which supports them. So, let's see the basic terminology. Low and high level language that we already know. System programming languages, stack and heap. So what is stack and heap? They are a super popular term which used to when it comes to memory management. The stack is actually memory set which which actually aside from scratch and gives you the thread execution. Okay, let me see the question. Okay, Arpit, what you are installing? If you are using Windows, so definitely it's gonna ask you for that. Yeah. So if you are on Windows, are you using Windows? Then yes, definitely. So if you are using Windows, then you need to download the C++. So that is basically that is a file that you need to help it. How do we work as team in the Rust? So basically, there is no such, matlab, uh, there is no directly way to just go and work with the team. So basically, you just go to the GitHub repository where there are some of the contribution ways is possible. So you can just pick up the any project and start contributing. That ultimately that you are working with the team with the Rust, right? That's how we are started. All you need to just grab the any project that you like it from the Rust and just go and started it. That's it. Any questions? Okay. So what I was talking about this. Okay. So what I was talking about the stack and heap. So stack is actually memory set aside scratch space and for using for the thread execution. When a function is called, a block reserved atop of the stack, local variables. Generally, we can know this term called LIFO, right? Last in, first out. Same way, the heap is the memory set aside for dynamic allocation. Unlike the stack, there is no enforced pattern to allocation and deallocation the blocks from the heap. You can allocate the block at any time, free at any time. This makes it much more complex to keep the track of the which parts of the heap are allocated and free at the given time, right? So there are many custom heap allocators available to tune heap performance and to tweak the setting for the different usage patterns. What is the concurrency and parallelism? Concurrency is actually the opposite of sequential, and parallelism is opposite to the serial, which is funny actually. So these are the term actually associated with the parallel computing. If anyone draws the distinction between the concurrent and parallel, it's likely that mean, you know, be any kind of overlap in the time doing any kind of task, where parallel implies simultaneous tasks to tend to start at the end of the nearly at the same time when this actually things are matches. I know it's quite a been confused, but this is the term actually. We're going to type system as well. Type system is a kind of programming language that refers to set of rules that assign to property to the various elements of the computer program, such as we know, like variables, expressions, functions, and the modules, and so on. Garbage collector. It is the automatically memory manner that free up the memory when object is no longer required in the program. So this is a very old. I hope everyone knows about the garbage collector. Mutability and scope. So mutability talks about the ability to changing the state of the resource like variable and object. Scope is basically that span of the which variable and any resources which is live and used by the particular programming language, right? So that is the use of it. So let me just go. Anyone, any questions so far? Okay. Okay, actually, we actually occupied the time. Just 1 second, let me just check it. I've got the notification. I hope everyone installed the Rust and everyone installed the cargo. So when you install basically from that link, that will install the cargo as well. There is no separate installation for that. Yes, Arpit, cargo install automatically. If you from grab that from that link, yes. Yes, Amitesh, we can. Um Guys, the meeting is actually let so basically Zoom is going to over this meeting right now. So we have just only left 1 minute or 2 minutes. So let's do one thing. Whatever the question you have right now so far, just tell me. I hope everyone is aware about the basic terminology of the Rust right now. And I have some code samples for you, which I already had a talk with the Nishchay. So GitHub, I'm going to send this to. So as you can see over here, I put some code samples over here for you. So you can simply practice these functions. Okay. All you need to, or you can just fork this repository. Let me,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sorry to disturb you. Yes, guys. The whatever link and the GitHub repositories which sir will provide us, we will forward it you to your mail ID, and we would like to thank sir for contributing to the community on behalf of Mozilla Club Bhubaneswar. We really enjoyed it, sir. And if anyone having any query regarding this particular language, how to install or anything like that, they can directly ping sir on his Telegram or Twitter
Yeah,
handles.
or you can do.
So you can continue.
Yeah, you can also create an issue over here. Okay, whatever the issue, whatever the error you are getting, you can just put the screenshot here, and I will help you. Okay, and there are code samples which are available over here. You can simply grab all this code and just try to run it. Okay.
Yes, sir, we will definitely forward the GitHub repository links to the contestants who had joined and who had participated in this event. So
Yeah,
in
sure.
this webinar, sir.
And we'll do one thing for the after this one, because we still left for some of the part. So we can schedule the next webinar same on the REST programming, and where we can conclude the further parts where we can only have the we're going to learn about all the functions and variables and type function and lifetime variables and everything. Fine.
Fine, sir.
Yeah, we still have 2-3 minutes. If anyone have any question regarding the community or anything else, you can simply ask me. You can unmute yourself, or you can just type the question in the chat window. That also works for me. A small request to everyone. If you guys are on Twitter, simply you can just, let me just. So as you can see, there are a lot of things that we are left, but we don't have enough time. So basically we started a channel called Rust Hacks. So if you want to know more about it, you can just follow this channel, Rust Hack. And these are the official channel for the Rust. And these are the links for if you want to follow. If you want to have any question, you can just simply bug me on the Twitter or Telegram. A small request, whatever I really wanted you to give them a quick feedback about the session on the Twitter. You can also tag the Rust language as well. Just feel free to share, today I attended the webinar and I really liked about what actually you learned from this webinar. And it's actually a good way to interact with the community as well. Like there will be a people who got to know that Mozilla Bhubaneswar club has organized something, and these are some of the people who got to learn something about this programming language. So this will give you the more visibility in the community itself. It will be like the community of somewhere in the India or somewhere is doing something, right? So you can feel free to share your feedback. You can simply tag me on the Twitter as well, and just share what you have learned today in this webinar. Okay, thank you so much for joining, guys. Hope you safe. Please stay at home, don't go out, and feel free to bug me anytime. And I'll see you guys on the next webinar for sure. Okay, thank you so much. I'm still here for 1 minute. If anyone have a question, they can simply ask.
Sir, what is the channel of Rust Hacks you just told?
So you can see over here. So basically we have a Twitter channel where we going to put mostly about the Rust, what are the upcoming updates, what are the events we are going to put through. So we are going to update that, the initiative that we started under the Rust, but this is not the official, like we started as a community. We build our own Rust community, and these are the official handler of the Rust programming. You can follow this one where you can get more update about what are the current updates been going through. So that's all about the Rust Hacks, and yeah. Any more questions? Thank you so much, guys. Please take care, and I'll see you soon. Yeah, thank you.